Right, so I said that I'd give you potentially another update as regards to my last video. Thank you for everyone, by the way, for joining Weather Fans on the Facebook page, where we're trying to update you as much as we possibly can. And this might be my last update before I go out chasing in a wee small hours tomorrow. I've been talking to the Weather Fans team. I think I'm going to be going towards Cumbria, the west coast of Cumbria, Workington, Whitehaven, Maryport, somewhere around there. Do not follow us. If there's a red warning that's put in place, stay at home. Don't come out at all. Leave it to us, not jobs, to go out and do it, because we are experienced and we like to think we know what we're doing. Now, that as I speak, we've now got red warnings that are full in force for the whole of Ireland, including Northern Ireland. That is unprecedented. There's talk that this could be their storm of the century. The Isle of Man is right in the epicenter of these winds right now, and I am so worried for you guys. I'm sure if you're prepared, you will be safe. Listen to all government official warnings, because this is a beast. I can't stress this enough. I said this yesterday. This is a serious bit of business that's going to be affecting these areas of the United Kingdom and Ireland. The GFS model I was talking about yesterday that I use quite often, it's still saying that it wants to put the storm in a similar area to what it was saying yesterday. However, the other weather models are saying slightly different. They've moved it a little bit further north. Hence now, the Met Office, which is our official weather organisation here in the United Kingdom, have put red warnings out for parts of Scotland. Please check official channels. I'm thinking there's a chance Cumbria might go into red. North Lancashire, I'm still thinking there's possibility we could end up going into red. It all depends on how these weather models or how the weather pattern is going to work its way out. If it goes back to what GFS is saying, then there's most certainly going to be Cumbria red warnings, danger to life. I mean, even I'm just, my phone's going crazy. I mean, we're talking about. I mean, Matt Taylor, who works for the Met Office, very well respected, is saying that there are 150-mile-an-hour gusts that will be performing off the south coast or southwest coast of Ireland, coast over the sea, not on the land. Everyone's contacting me, of course, you can expect that. Not on the land, it won't be like that on the land. We are looking at isolated gusts of 100 miles an hour in the red areas. Certainly you're going to be seeing 80 to 90 mile an hour winds further south going into Lancashire, North Lancashire. Fluid situation as per usual, as you can expect. So please, again, I can't keep repeating myself, check your official weather channels, the BBC, the Met Office. There you go to, guys. Go and listen to them. They know their onions. We noticed that some of the weather models were in disagreement, which isn't unusual, normally happens quite often, as regards to whereabouts these wind events are going to occur. So I've got this this weather website up now. It's called Windy. I'm going to show you the GFS in a minute or two. This actually does have the GFS on it as well, so I might stay here. But this is definitely windy. Now, this is for Friday lunchtime, 12 o'clock. You can see the extent and the severity of the isobars. Do you remember yesterday how close the isobars are together? The centre of it up here, just above in the Highlands there, 947 millibars. That is really, really low. And then you've got the millibars all across here, 960, 972, so on and so forth, working their way out. Purple areas, they are your biggest wind gusts that you're going to be looking at. I've just explained to you before what they're all about. 80 to 90 mile an hour winds. So you can see, Douglas, Isle of Man, you are in for a battering, and I am so happy that I am not on your island right now. There's a big part of me wants to go there, but another part's like, no, I need to be safe myself, because you can't mess around with Mother Nature. Even storm chasers know their limits. I've gone back to 8 o'clock in the morning, and you can see already the Irish Sea has definitely got loads of wind that's going on there. 5 o'clock in the morning, big winds that are kicking off there as well. It doesn't necessarily mean, just because the isobars down here, 986 or 948, it doesn't necessarily mean that the 948 is going to be windier. It's going to be where it swings round. You know, you get like something on a rope and you swing it round. Just follow me on this one. It's very similar to that, where you're going to have the most damaging wind gusts on the leading edge, and that's where we're looking at, just off the coast of Cork, in the Celtic, the Irish Sea. Nowhere in Ireland really is going to escape, unless you're sheltered, like I said yesterday, then you might get a bit of a respite for certain parts of the day. But what I wanted to show you was, which is very interesting, if we go back to Thursday, about 10 o'clock at night, you can see that the winds are very much southerly in direction as they come up through the Irish Sea and they make their way across easterly into Yorkshire. Same with Wales, across the Midlands, and then they go off in the other direction in Ireland through Dublin. Between Dublin and Cork, you can see they're going in a westerly direction rather than easterly direction. So you can see the way that the wind changes direction as the storm system is starting to creep itself in. It becomes more westerly for the Irish Sea areas before later on in the day, then it goes back to a southerly direction as that storm system brings itself in. Now, because it's southerly to start with, you might not see or hear much wind business going on, if you will, because you are in a sheltered area in the valleys and behind the hills, the mountains, or whatever. You might hear it, but you certainly won't feel the effects of the wind. It won't be till later onto Friday when the wind starts ramping up early in the morning that the wind then starts to change direction, becomes more uniformal according to the weather system itself coming in. Like Matt Taylor was saying, 150 mile an hour wind. I mean, this is hurricane stormy winds. I said yesterday we don't use the word hurricane very often, but this is as good as a hurricane. What we on 150, so we're looking at a Cat 4. Yeah, Cat 4, 130 to 156 miles an hour. It's one cat off the strongest type of hurricane you would see in America. I personally think we should follow that system, that weather model that they use in America as regards categorising the hurricanes. I mean, we don't call them hurricanes, call them storms, call them whatever you want, but the wind is the wind and it's going to have a massive impact. As they're saying, danger to life, power or outages, there's going to be disruption. There's going to be flooding, coastal flooding. It's going to be pretty gnarly. But this is the GFS. I've digressed a bit. This is the GFS. Now, if we flick it to the ECM, which is another weather model without getting too technical, look at the position of the winds. They change completely. This is the same time compared to the GFS. You can see there is a shift in the way it's all shown. If we go to the UKV, again, there's another shift. There is a little bit more sort of uniformity that's going on, but if you can tell by looking at the purple and the pink areas between the ECM, the UKV and the GFS is definitely making the northwest, especially where I live here in Blackpool and Cumbria, a lot more prone to these weather events. This particular weather event is already. Some weather models are better at predicting weather events. Some get a bit of a fluster on because they're not used to it. Some are better at others, like the French one is very good for snow and things like that, which Paul was telling me yesterday. Thank you very much, Weather Paul. But definitely for the GFS and the ECM, there's a slight change in what's going on, because off the coast of Ireland, off the west coast of Ireland, the GFS, you've got much bluer areas that are appearing here, but obviously the ECM is giving you some stronger wind gusts there as well, which ultimately will come across. Now, we can't pin our colours to the mast till we're much closer to the event, but just to reiterate, people are asking me if they're going to be impacted. All I can say is I can only tell you what I know, but it does change. The weather models do change every so many hours, and I can only read what they're saying. So it means your area might be different in a few hours to come than what it is now. So basically, look at the official weather outlets to find out if your area is going to be affected by this. But you definitely are if you're in Ayrshire, Stranraer, Ireland, Douglas, parts of Cumbria. Anywhere in that area is going to be pretty gnarly as the system moves its way through. That's initially before it gets a track and moves a little bit further else. Another thing that I wanted to look at before we disappear is storm surge. I've put links in my website. Go nodrog.uk. That's where everything is as regards weather. Links on the learn page at the bottom. You can find one as regards storm surge. It is a site that I use quite often. This one particularly, the NTSLF page, gives us an indication of storm surge. Obviously, storm surge is where the sea, if you will, around wherever you are, is going to be higher. The tide will be higher, greater, and obviously massive waves and whatnot. Within a locality of 50 miles, you somewhere else might be different because you might be more sheltered compared to where you are more exposed. There's a lot of parameters that do change the format of storm surge. But even the BBC are talking about it, the Met Office are talking about it, coastal flooding, there is going to be some storm surges, and obviously that will go into the inlet areas of rivers as well, so you need to be very careful about that. So my personal advice is, if you've got little boats out there or whatever, you need to make sure that they are safe and secure. I'm sure you've got your own medium to find out where that is all based at, to check out. Go and do that, go and prepare yourself. If you're at home on the land, just as rule of thumb, winterize your garden. Get it prepared, get your wheelie bins tucked in, cover up skips, anything that you think that could be a projectile in a big gust of wind. It could be a matter of life or death. Yeah, whether it's a human or an animal, cats out, dogs out, whatever, going for a tinkle. They don't want a fence panel that's loose landing on top of them while they're doing the business, do they? I certainly wouldn't do. This storm surge wise is for Workington. You can see that you've got a greater area that kicks off around the 24th. I mean, it speaks for itself, doesn't it, really? Be prepared for some coastalised flooding. Another thing I wanted to look at before I disappear, quite often I've always banged on about Toro issuing tornado warnings. We do get tornadoes. I don't care what other people, the trolls, want to say on my Facebook, on my YouTube channel, is what it is. But Estofex, I think we'll be looking at more often than not for potential of tornadic activity across Europe and certainly across United Kingdom. They're concerned because of the polar maritime air that's coming from the north, the cold air, sorry, that's coming, make it easier from the north. You've got the warm air that's coming from the south. As you know, in America, when you get the cold and the warm, they meet together, they like to have a bit of a dance, and you've got a higher, greater risk. Other factors involved. Obviously, we've got the moisture, that's definitely there, to create a chance of some tornadoes. Now, Estofex are talking about long-lasting tornadic activity in these regions. You can see number 1, number 2. So take heed warning of that in southern counties of the United Kingdom. Anywhere along that stretch, you could possibly have, I mean, you're talking from one end to the other, aren't you, really? A chance of a tornado that might last longer than normal in this country. We're not talking American style here, but sort of a low to a medium sort of damage style tornado. It's difficult. I really don't want to choose. I don't want to choose certain words right now and get myself in a pickle. But there is a risk that you might get some tornadic activity that might pop down. Squally winds kicking off, hail, and there's definitely thunder involved. Some people say no, there's very low risk of any thunder activity because of the way that the systems are set up at the moment. But if you look at the weather maps, again, links via my website, go and check it out. There's loads of stuff on there. You'll see in the English channel right now, we have got storm systems that are trundling along, making their way towards Guernsey, just north of Guernsey, as they go off towards Brighton area. They'll mostly be maritime because of this time of the year, but as you can see, they also will pop on land. Now, it's that pattern that will be followed carefully to see what happens. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a chance of a water spout as well. So keep your eyes peeled to the skies. Make sure you share any content that you manage to capture safely on the Weather Fans Facebook page. Come and join us on there. We've lowered the threshold so a lot of people can join straight away. I know some of you were trying to get on, but because the threshold was high, you weren't being allowed in. Many apologies. My call to action kind of failed in that certain respect. I'll take responsibility for that, but I've lowered it now where you should be able to get yourself on, or one of us admin team will be able to let you in. Weather Paul, thank you very much for just updating me. He's just sent me this clip in now from Kerno Weather Team, Cornwall. I've just been talking about reports, I've just been talking about potential of tornadic activity or hail, thunder and stuff like that. There is actually reports coming in now of a tornado or maybe a squall or a downdraft. Either way, it just shows you how violent these winds are, and the atmosphere, the weather is very unstable. So no matter where you are in the country, please take care. Stay tuned to official weather forecasts, and also go to Weather Fans as well, because we'll definitely put a lot of content on there wherever possible. The winds, doesn't matter if you're in Cornwall, whatever, these winds are just as destructive as what they will be in the prone areas of this storm that's moving its way through. Great footage. I'm on Twitter. Go and find me on Twitter. Our links in the description area down below, and thank you for Cornwall as well and sharing this this great footage. Anyway, back to the main frame, but it just proves a point. Just a quick shout out. I want to make sure that you follow any of the storm chasers that we've got, or the storm hunters on the team. We're talking about Storm Chaser Paul, we've got Liz, and of course Michael. I'll try and add links in anywhere I can possibly do that. If not, you'll find them on the Weather Fans page. Gav's Weather Vids as well. I will put a link in the description area down below. He does a much detailed analysis of the weather data and charts daily on his YouTube channel. I can't recommend you to go and watch him enough. He's a fantastic chap. I love him to pieces, and I've learned a lot from him. My hat does definitely get taken off for Gav. Go and check him out. Go and give him a follow and a subscribe. It's very important. But in the meantime, I will leave you to go and get yourself prepared and sorted. And don't forget, tomorrow I will be out with Paul and Liz. Don't know what Michael's doing just yet, to go and chase this. And I think Workington is probably my target area. Stay safe, keep warm, and hopefully we'll see you on the other side of this looking fresh, and certainly a story to tell the grandkids. And I pray for Isle of Man and Ireland. I hope you get away with this by the skin of your teeth. If you're prepared, you should be fine. You will be fine. Don't mess with Mother Nature.